There are good actors, great actors, and then there's Sean Connery.
Bond. James Bond.
The man who became James Bond. From the moment he stepped onto the silver screen in 1962, he wasn't just playing a role, he was crafting an immortal legend. His refined demeanor, razor-sharp wit, and lethal presence set a gold standard that every future 007 has struggled to match. So today, join as we delve into Sean Connery's era-defining performances, the electrifying energy he brought to each film, and explore why even decades later, his Bond is still the Bond. Are you ready? Let's start. Sean Connery's portrayal of James Bond has long been hailed as one of the most transformative and defining moments in cinematic history. As the very first actor to step into the shoes of the legendary British secret agent, Connery not only established the blueprint for what would become a global cultural phenomenon, but also reshaped the landscape of action and espionage films forever. At a time when cinema was evolving rapidly amidst the tensions of the Cold War, Connery's character provided the perfect amalgam of modernity and classic heroism. His performance underscored a phase in film where sophisticated narrative met thrilling spectacle, a balance that has rarely been replicated since. Over the course of his career, Sean Connery starred in 7 key Bond films, each contributing to the legacy of 007. Beginning with Dr. No in 1962, Connery's debut introduced audiences to a Bond whose charisma would set the standard for generations. Dr. No was not merely a film, it was the beginning of an evolution in character portrayal and was the ideal way to introduce James Bond to audiences worldwide. From the moment he uttered, "Bond, James Bond," in a smoky casino, Connery's presence commanded attention.
Bond. James Bond.
He brought an effortless cool to the role of making Bond instantly likable, yet intimidating. His smooth delivery of dialogue, combined with his physicality, made him feel like a real spy, someone who could both seduce and eliminate threats with ease. Next, in From Russia with Love, Connery further refined Bond, showing a deeper level of intelligence and finesse. This film allowed him to display Bond's espionage films more effectively, moving beyond simple gunfights into a world of deception and international intrigue. One of Connery's standout moments in this film was the intense train fight against Red Grant, a sequel that showcased both his physicality and acting prowess. Unlike typical action heroes of the time, his character fought with purpose, every move calculated, every strike meaningful. His ability to balance sophistication with brutal efficiency made this film a masterclass in performance. Similarly, often hailed as the greatest Bond film, Goldfinger showcased Connery at the peak of his powers. Here he perfected Bond's mix of wit, charm, and unwavering confidence. Every interaction with Auric Goldfinger cracked with tension, and his encounter with Oddjob provided one of the most iconic showdowns in Bond history. Perhaps the most famous scene, Bond strapped to a table with a laser inching toward him, demonstrated Connery's ability to express emotion without losing composure. His delivery of
"Do you expect me to talk?" "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die."
"Do you expect me to talk?" with understated defiance made Bond feel intelligent and fearless. So Connery's performance in Goldfinger encapsulated what made his Bond so compelling and elegant a spy, who despite facing insurmountable odds, always found a way to outwit his opponents. Now, while Goldfinger is regarded as the greatest Bond film, Thunderball took Bond to a larger scale, and Connery adapted flawlessly. As the stakes escalated with nuclear threats, his Bond became more commanding and authoritative. His interactions with villain Emilio Largo carried a powerful presence. Also, the underwater sequences, while technically ambitious, showcased Connery's ability to handle action with grace. Though physically demanding, he maintained Bond's persona, ensuring that even in moments of silent underwater combat, Bond felt calculated and precise. Moreover, in You Only Live Twice, Connery took Bond deeper into espionage, navigating a world where he had to fake his own death and infiltrate enemy operations. This film required Connery to adjust his approach to Bond, making him more observant and tactical. His encounter with Blofeld in the villain's hollowed-out volcano base marked an important moment in Bond history. Connery finally faced his greatest enemy. Hence his ability to portray Bond as both defiant and calculating against the criminal mastermind highlighted how he balanced action and negligence. Next, after George Lazenby's short-lived tenure, Connery returned for Diamonds Are Forever. Though the film took a lighter tone, Connery remained the heart of Bond. His portrayal in this installment felt more relaxed, yet he still carried the presence of a seasoned spy. And finally, after more than a decade away, Connery reprised his role in Never Say Never Again. Though unofficial and separate from Eon Productions, this film offered a rare opportunity to see Bond portrayed as an older, more seasoned agent. Connery adapted accordingly. This was a Bond who relied on experience rather than sheer physical dominance. Despite his age, Connery's Bond remained as charming and quick-witted as ever. His interactions with adversaries retained that sharpness that had made him famous, proving that even after years away, no one could truly replace his version of 007. A significant factor in Connery's compelling portrayal of Bond was the guidance he received from director Terence Young. Young, who recognized the necessity of balancing raw talent with refined technique, took it upon himself to mentor Connery both on and off the set. He taught him the art of movement, the subtleties of speech, and even the intricacies of dining etiquette. This mentorship transformed Connery's natural bravado into a performance that was both nuanced and electrifying. However, the production of Connery's Bond films was not without its share of real-life risks. One notorious incident occurred during the filming of Thunderball in 1965, when Connery found himself in a life-threatening situation underwater. In one of the film's most harrowing sequences, a pool filled with sharks became a tangible danger. Concerned for his safety, Connery insisted that production designer Ken Adam construct a special plexiglass barrier in the pool. But the barrier was only a temporary measure, a structure not designed for complete safety. So in a heart-stopping moment, one of the sharks managed to breach the partition, forcing Connery to abandon the scene immediately. Moreover, Connery's journey as James Bond was also marked by a profound personal conflict. While the franchise catapulted him to worldwide fame, it also came with the burden of typecasting him with the limitation of being forever associated with the role. Connery's reluctance to fully embrace the long-term demands of the series was a testament to his desire to explore a broader range of characters and artistic ventures. Yet the undeniable impact of his work as Bond overshadowed his reservations, cementing his place in cinematic history. Now, if we talk about the influence of Connery's Bond, it's immeasurable. At a time when the concept of a cinematic hero was undergoing significant change, his portrayal offered a fresh perspective that combined physical prowess with an innate sophistication. The character became the archetype of the suave and lethal spy for filmmakers worldwide. Connery's embodiment of Bond was not just about wielding weapons or engaging in explosive action sequences. It was about an attitude, a way of being that radiated cool confidence and perfect style. This magnetic blend of traits has inspired countless actors who succeeded him, each striving to encapsulate the charm, precision, and enigmatic allure that Connery effortlessly conveyed. Thus, in many respects, Connery's work laid the groundwork for modern action heroes, whose personas continue to echo his influence in every sly smirk and calculated move. And although Connery eventually stepped away from the role, his influence is permanently woven into the fabric of every Bond film that followed. Generations of filmmakers and audiences have continued to draw inspiration from his balanced mix of allure and danger. Moreover, Connery's tenure not only helped secure the commercial success of the Bond franchise, but also elevated it to a global phenomenon, reshaping how popular culture perceives espionage and heroism. Today, debates still rage over the definitive embodiment of Bond, with many fans and critics alike proclaiming that Connery's version remains the exemplary representation of the spy. This ongoing dialogue is a testament to the enduring strength of his performance. Looking ahead, the shadow of Sean Connery's performance as James Bond looms large over not only the espionage genre, but the entire film industry. His portrayal has set an almost unattainable benchmark for charisma and sophistication, elements that continue to influence how heroes are envisioned and portrayed today. As audiences revisit these classic films, the immortal image of Connery's Bond continues to evoke admiration. In celebrating his legacy, we remember that a true icon's influence transcends time, leaving an indelible mark on culture and cinema for generations to come indeed. So, what are your thoughts about Sean Connery as 007? Share with us in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.